안녕하세요 everyone, Ayden here. Today we're gonna try to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we've received from our students. We picked out 3 just to be concise, but more to come later. Question number 1. How do I improve my vowel pronunciation? One thing that, and I can only speak for English-speaking audience, one thing that they have hard time understanding is that what they perceive as one syllable, if you translate into Korean pronunciation's perspective, is actually many syllables. For example, when you say oh, in Korean you would pronounce it as o, o. So if you actually break down the American version of pronunciation, is oh. So if you break it down in Korea, it's u, o, a, o, u. Oh. So instead of pronouncing this one syllable, you're actually jamming in this many syllables into one. So when you're pronouncing vowels, try to make it short and try to remove all those excess pronunciations. And that will help you improve your pronunciation when you're pronouncing Korean vowels. Question number 2. How do I improve my pronunciation when I'm saying consonants? Okay. One thing to keep in mind when you're pronouncing consonants in Korean is that this might be hard to understand, but there is no articulative preparation when you're speaking in Korean. I think a good example would be when you say judgment. So in Korean, it would be 저지먼트. So 저 and 저 sound slightly different. The reason why is when you pronounce the J, if you pay close attention to the pronunciation itself, there's a slight moment when you block the air before you articulate it. So it's judgment. In Korean, there's no preparation for the articulation. So it's 저 instead of j. So if you unconsciously try to remove that little preparation, I think that will improve your pronunciation quite effectively. Same with B, 바보, great example there. If you say that in American accent, it would be babo. But in Korean, there's no before the articulation, so it's 바보. Okay, question number 3. Oh, the classic. How do I improve my pronunciation on 리을? So when people explain how to pronounce this, people often explain it to be in the middle of L and R. I personally don't think it's a clear enough explanation because for you guys, L and R are 2 very different syllables. But I think people try to explain it that way without knowing. The reason is it's quite literally in the middle. Let me explain. So when you pronounce R, if you notice the tip of your tongue is all the way in the back of your palates. So it's And then when you pronounce O, l, it's like right behind your teeth. L. When you pronounce the 리을, it's right in the middle. 리을, l. So it's between and O. When you say real in Korean, you would pronounce it as 리얼. So for both sound, you will notice that your tongue is in the middle of your palate. And I think that will improve quite a lot. 사실 굳이 따지자면 L이랑 가깝지? 근데 혀의 위치는 변하지 않아. 이게 L에 가까운 이유는 발음이 끝나기 때문이야. 리얼 하고 끝난다. So there, top 3 most frequently asked questions from our students. I hope it helped and Ayden은 돌아올게요. Bye!